Good morning. It's Tony Dottino, and I think I can get back to a regular schedule again. The holidays have been a little bit more crazy for me than I had anticipated, and so I've been sporadic in my life with Tony's. But I am now back, and I think on a regular schedule, which started off this morning, attending the Memory Institute over at the Dr. Phillips YMCA here in Orlando, Florida. And it was really interesting. It was fun, enjoyable to come back and see the people that are participating in the workshop of the Memory Institute. They do this 2 days a week, 9:30 to 1:30. There's 18 people registered in the workshop, and that's the max because there's a lot of interaction and there's a lot of coaching and hand-holding. It's for people that have either the early thoughts of Alzheimer's or dementia and or the early stages of it, that you can still have a positive impact on their lives in some capacity, in a mental way, in a cognitive fitness way. And so it brought me back to one of the exercises we did today was New Year's resolutions. And so it's now January 13th. And who has established or created a New Year's resolution, and are you still focused on it? Are you still in the act of doing it? And the number of the people in the class made a comment is, I don't do New Year's resolutions anymore because in my life experiences, I find that they don't last very long and I don't stay committed to them, and therefore I've stopped even making them. Which gets me to the question, how many of you, or how many people, realize that they can make a difference in their mental health, in their memories, and their abilities to minimize or at least build up some surplus muscle up in here, your brain, which is not muscle, but nerve fibers and dendrites and axons. How many people can build up some reserve of mental power, which we define as cognitive fitness, throughout their lives, and realize that the neuroscience world over the last 20 years, God, it's probably since 1990, God, 25 years, has made so many advances and so much research has pioneered different elements of what we're learning about our mental fitness, and the fact that we do not have to stay locked in wherever we may be thinking of ourselves and being locked. And so how do we unleash the potential that we all have? How do we get to the point where we realize there are some activities and tasks that I can perform that can make a difference in my long-term mental fitness? And you don't have to be a teenager to do that. You don't have to be somebody in your 40s. You don't have to be someone in your 60s. You can do this at any age. And that's what's been interesting. And I read over and over again about walking and or exercising, and get out even after dinner for 10 minutes several times a week, if not every day for 10 minutes. Build into your schedule. So how do we make New Year's resolutions that, within 2 weeks, I was like, I don't even want to bother anymore. This is crazy, and therefore I'm not even going to make a resolution. So as we turn the clock, let's think about it in February. What commitments can we make to ourselves in doing things that are good for us? And that's the crazy part to me. These, exercising, doing mental exercises and challenges, maintaining social interactions, are all very good things for our own well-being. So the question that always puzzles me, if you make a New Year's resolution, obviously it would hopefully come from something that's important to you, and that you would have some motivation and inspiration to want to do it. So why do we stop after 2 weeks? Why do we stop after a month? So how do we back this up and build on little commitments, with little goals, with little successes that are good for us? So if I were to break that down for you, what could you do in the next 30 days to increase your level of social interaction? Are there some people you haven't called in the last year? Are there some people you'd love to talk with that you haven't in a little bit? Are there people at the grocery store, the checkout counters, the service desk? Are there people that you can meet in your day-to-day activities? Maybe go sit in the library, although it's supposed to be quiet, but maybe you can go somewhere to the local shopping area, a grocery store, or just go out and just meet people. And that, I know we might live in a little bit of a crazy world today, but just think of commenting on somebody's, oh God, I love that hat you have on today, or I love that dress, or it's a little cold, it looks like you're a little chilly. There are so many different ways that you can think of engaging someone in a very safe conversation that's not intrusive, that is safe, then promises not to get you hit back in with a bat or something. But ways of at least talking to people. And I know coming from New York, my goodness, you try talking to people, especially on subways today, and it's like, oh God, I can't say a word. I got to get away from this person. And this is what we've done to our social interaction. We're thinking that talking to people might get you arrested or thrown in jail or get you labeled as a quack. And yet what the neuroscience world is saying is building relationships and friends and having people that you just talk with is a very healthy thing for your long-term fitness. And so I'm at a grocery store this past week in a place that I've never been. It's 4 hours away from home, so we were in South Florida for a few days visiting with some friends, and I went to a grocery store there called Seed to Table. I will tell you, I've never been in a grocery store quite like it. I don't even know if I'd want to call it a grocery store as opposed to an entertainment center. But it was just awesome. And if any of you have ever been to Stu Leonard's, I'm going to tell you this would make Stu Leonard's look like a regular grocery store. This Seed to Table is founded by a gentleman that owns a ranch of 3,500 acres, so he grows the produce and the fruits and vegetables that they serve in the store. Has a process where they harvest and bring what's ripening up into the store within 24 hours. But here's the fun part. They have the store broken into different sections where you have tables where you can sit down and grab something to eat and sit down and watch TV. They have music they bring in every day. It's like, my God, there's music every day. There's groups that play, bands that play. This store is open Friday, Saturday until 2 a.m. in the morning. You can't call this a grocery store. It's like a social place. I mean, you could just go sit there and just watch people. So we went to the second floor. We got some breakfast and went up onto the second floor level. And you look out over the whole store and just watch people. I mean, you don't even have to talk to anyone. Just be in that social setting and be a student of people. And watch who's buying something at the meat counter and who's buying something at the vegetable counter. Oh God, the bakery counter, they had some bakery stuff there. It was just loose, and chocolate cream vanilla cream puffs and chocolate eclairs. I mean, it was just a place to be and just observe. Now you needed to have a little bit of, restraint, because you could buy up half the store and not use it, unfortunately, because there's so many great things they had in it that you wouldn't be able to consume it all within a reasonable period of time, so maybe you got to make plans to go back a second time. But the fact of the matter is we were only there for a few days, so I couldn't load up and bring home stuff that we wouldn't use. But the meats, the vegetables, the produce, the fruits, strawberries, oh God. And so I got to talk to a couple of people. I picked up some strawberries, picked up some eclairs, and got to talk to the people that worked there. And I asked them what it was like. And they said it's a fun store to work in. And I say, why is it fun? Well, first of all, their hiring process is very strict in who they hire, and you got to be someone who wants to come in and have fun. If you don't want to come in and enjoy your work and enjoy meeting with customers and talking with them, then you don't even get hired. So you want to have some fun. And then you want to be a part of it. You're like the cast. You're like the people in the store that have to. And I even said to somebody, I said, every person I've walked by in this store is smiling or that looks like they're enjoying their day. And they said, yep, that's the people that work here. And we're a great team. We're a great team. And we all support one another. So if somebody needs some help, you know what? There's 5 people ready to go help them. And I'm saying, wow, what? So now back to my point. All of that store had for me is beyond the looking at the food, was the personal interaction of the person that made our breakfast, the person that brought the food over to our table, the people that then clean up, the people I went to buy some food. Extraordinarily pleasant, happy, and we were there for several hours. How imagine being in a grocery store for several hours? How about going back on Friday night and staying until whenever? You think you're going grocery shopping, you're sitting there and you're listening to country music, or you're listening to pop music, or you're sitting in different movie loves. They have music in several different locations, from anywhere from peaceful, quiet music to, we're going to put some band music up on a stage. In a grocery store. So if anybody's going off to Naples, Florida, and you want to improve your social interaction skills, and that's what this section is all about for me today, is a commitment that you can make to where you want to improve in some fashion a way that you can build up being with people, in a way, in a sense, being with people that doesn't stress you. You certainly don't want to be with people that you're going to listen to and say, God, I really don't want to listen to this person. Where can you go find people in your environment that at least make you feel like you want to be there, and it gives you a level of joy, it gives you a level of smiles and happiness. And I'm sure in any community that we live in, there are people that you can go find that you can do that with. And here, and where I live in Windermere, Florida, I find them in the grocery store. In Naples, I found it in a grocery store. You can find it at church. My goodness, if you often get back to church, you can find people at the end of Mass talking and just excited. Church groups have all kinds of community services and things like that. You can go watch them play bingo, and not play bingo, but just watch people play and just see what they're doing. Become a student of go to a shopping center and just sit on a bench when the weather's warm enough for it. It's not rainy or cold or snowy or icy, but where you can sit on a bench. The mall up in Minnesota, I guess, is a great place to go do that in. So you can just sit back and observe people. Getting out on your front porch. It's always been a great thing I've enjoyed doing, just watching people walking their dogs and taking nighttime walks. Going into the community pools or into a fitness center and just watching who's in the pool, swimming, who's on the exercise. I love going to the gym and get on a treadmill, but then I'm always watching what are other people doing that down below, because the gym's on the second level for the treadmills, first level is the weights thing. Enjoy watching what people are doing and who's talking to whom. Just be a student of people and know the benefit is very selfish. Yeah, so why are you doing this? Because it benefits your cognitive fitness. And there's science that comes out and it comes out. I mean, I don't know how much more we need. Just do it and see how it makes you feel. See what you get out of it that makes you feel like, boy, this Tony guy doing this Live with Tony thing, he really got me doing something that I am really enjoying. And I look forward to the next time I can go out. And I'm now thinking about where I meet people. In a park, in a playground, doesn't matter. I get to meet people and I love it. And know that as you're doing that, it's a major benefit to your own personal well-being. Obviously, you could tell a little bit wired today, and I love it. It was great to be back at the Institute today, and so I came back just seeing these people socializing and being with one another and just welcoming back post-holidays their friends and family that are part of the Memory Institute at the Dr. Phillips YMCA. So with that, we're off to a week. I will be back with you on Wednesday and pick it up from there and at least tell you about what I've done over the last few days to be a little bit more social. Have a good Monday.